governor has no greater task or no greater responsibility than the public safety of his citizens.
See, he had been preparing for this for several days. We knew that we were going to have a storm. We weren't sure where it was going to hit. You know, he kind of knew this in advance, and he was ready for that. And then the next morning after, he got on a helicopter, and that's when he went around from Columbia down through all the way down the coast, down Sumter, everywhere, all the way to North Carolina line to see the devastation.
It was just, obviously it was just complete devastation, and I don't think anything prepared him for what he was going to see.
I wasn't prepared for it. You know, I'd seen limited damage. I'd never seen mass destruction. But when you flew into a little community like a McClellanville, and all the shrimp boats were blown up over the top of trees, and the houses were you know, blown away and destroyed, or you went out to the Isle of Palms and you just saw just bare sand, or you landed, you know, at any of the places along the coast and realized that these places were just gone, just totally destroyed.
Carroll was one of these people that if he had a job to do, no matter how big it was, and don't tell him it couldn't be done. But because he was, you know, he loved a challenge and he loved doing what he could for people, and he did love the state. And of course, I know you've heard stories about down in McClellanville about people in the schools. I mean, you know, I think that was what affected Carroll more than anything, to see how bad it was for those people. Nowhere to go. They thought they were safe in the churches, in the schools. In a little town like that, they just didn't have a place to go except for those places.
Through the course of leading up to Hurricane Hugo, there for about 72 hours straight, he went without sleep, the day before, the day of, and the day after. You know, in a time of crisis like that, you want to know that the person running your state, that there's a sense of confidence and stability there, that you know that you have some real leadership at the top to lead you through a crisis like this. And I think they knew that with Carroll Campbell. I think they realized that, hey, you know, everything's going to be okay because Carroll Campbell said it was going to be okay, and he's going to take care of us, and he did.
I thank God that we had Carroll in charge, because he took it on, and of course he didn't do it by himself. He knew he had help. He had to have help.
Obviously, his relationship with the president and his close friendship with the president came into play and was very beneficial to the state, because he didn't, like most governors, have to go through several channels to get to the president. He could pick up the phone and call him, get him on the phone immediately, and tell him what he needed, and the president would do it. And that really, really benefited South Carolina a lot more than I think people realize or know. One of the things that frustrated him most was, after the storm had hit, was the price gouging that was going on in the state.
In addition, we have issued an executive order which addresses the problems of gouging, and under the emergency orders of this state makes it illegal to artificially inflate prices in the areas of disaster. Some people were selling ice down there for $10 for a little bag of ice, and I just got livid over that. And I blew up over it. It just really made me mad that people were in there gouging. And so we put out the word all over the South that we needed ice. And the ice companies from everywhere, I don't know where they came from, trucks started coming in, giving away ice, giving it away, and broke these people. And I loved it.
It really showed the spirit of South Carolina through all this, and that was one of the things that he was proudest, because out of the entire time he was governor, there was no time that he was prouder than South Carolinians than following the storm and seeing their spirit and their resolve to rebuild and rebuild quickly.